Ya, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. My name is Yusril Ihza Haryadi. I am the postgraduate student as my prodi, Master of Management of the Faculty of Economic, Universitas Negeri Jakarta. And actually right now, I want to explain about my research or my thesis in the proposal seminar. And thank you for the opportunity. Dear Honorable Ibu Profesor Dr. R.D. Tuti Sariwulan MSc, as my first guidance lecture, and the Honorable Ibu Dr. Widya Parimita SAMPA as my second guidance lecture, and also thank you again about the opportunity to explain about the proposal seminar. And obviously, I want to give several information about the title is the influence of perceived organizational support and meaningful work on turnover intention through job satisfaction as an intervening variable. The study of Generation Z employees in Jabodetabek food and beverage business. In the main, we know of the background. One of the assets that significantly contributes to the achievement of organizational goals and objectives is human resource. A good organizational strategy will not necessarily develop if it's not balanced with the right human resource. Therefore, organization must have the ability to recruit the right employees and be able to motivate, assess, and develop the human resource. Every organization have many strategy. They have to, one of the main is employee retention of the employees. One of the main challenge faced by organization is the high level of turnover intention among Generation Z employees. This generation born between 1997 and 2013 has different characteristics and expectation compared to previous generation, such as baby boomers, Generation X, and millennial, according to 2019. Furthermore, the current demographic change in the workforce saw a significant increase in the number of Generation Z in the workforce. We know that Gen Z, there are many calling of Gen Z. Next generation, digital generation, first generation growth form with digital technology or rapidly through an I generation and undefined ID. Gen Z showing Gen Z's tendency to express themselves and look for their own identity, like label generation 2, and are now starting to dominate the workforce. They are known as a generation that grew up with rapid technological development and have unique characteristics compared to previous generation, according to 2019. In the future of factor turnover intention in Gen Z, turnover intention around 40% high turnover intention and below lack of manager support. We know the manager support one of dimension of perceived organizational support is one of the factor turnover intention too. And below non-competitive compensation around 35% and below lack of remote working 35%. The source according Lembaga Penelitian SDM 2022. Next, this research was conducted on food and beverage business, including PT Berkarya Sejahtera Indonesia Andal, was formerly PT Kebab Monster Indonesia is a food and beverage business, and also PT Senyangga Nyang Lapar Sagala Group and Dapur ESPN. And the background, table 1.1 average age of that employees data, Generation Z amount 131 percentage 85% is dominated and majority employees in Berkarya Sejahtera Indonesia under year 2024. And the table 1.2 employee turnover data, PT Berkarya Sejahtera Indonesia Andal in 2021 until 2024, but increasing employee turnover data 2022, in the number beginning, we know that 144 move of employee resign, there are 25%. That indicates that high turnover intention, high turnover resign, especially in the Berkarya Sejahtera Indonesia under 2024. And subsequently, figure 1.2 that show bibliometric data visualization, and the result visualization indicate that show a map of relationship between scientific literature on the theme organizational support and turnover intention. And in the previous study or old article 2019, especially in the blue color and the green color in the middle around 2020, and furthermore yellow that's recently 2021 until above, that's implementation, that new K or new old K, that the pattern to express about new topic like a meaningful work and also moderating role. And in this research, and also that's relevant and also scientific in the recently until now. And in the background in table 1.3 result of employee pressure survey, there are many statements, around 9 statements. And the first is, I feel the organization cares about my needs and the problem I face work. And we survey around 15 employees in the Berkarya Sejahtera Indonesia Andal 2000 or 2025. There are 60% don't agree. And the second, I feel appreciated and are recognized for my contribution. And statement of meaningful work variable, there are 60 don't agree. And the third, I am satisfied with my current job and relevant or related with the job satisfaction, there are 67 don't agree of the survey. And then we now try to survey and indicates to continue in our research, especially about perceived organizational support, meaningful work, and also turnover intention as dependent variable, and job satisfaction as intervening variable. And afterwards, research gap. There was a research gap in the previous study regarding the relationship between meaningful work and turnover intention. Most studies, such as those conducted by Dwidi Nawati et al. 2023 and Rohayati et al. 2023, so that meaningful work has a negative and significant effect on turnover intention. In the contrast, meaningful work on turnover intention, Carlos Leja et al. Found that meaningful has a positive and significant effect on turnover intention. And research focus based on the background that has been explained the problem to be answered in this study is so perceived organizational support, meaningful work affect turnover intention to job satisfaction as an intervening variable. And next one, research question. There are 7 research question. And next, goal purposes. There are 7 goal purposes in this research or this thesis. And in the second bab or literature review, definition and dimension, definition of research variable, we know that 4 variable, that the first Mobley 9070H said that turnover intention is the tendency of employee to leave an organization due to lack of interest in the existing job, the existing of other job alternative. And the second, Eisenberg et al. HD6 that perceive organizational support as the extent to which employees feel free that the organization they work or cares about their well-being and values their contribution. And the definition meaningful work according Stager 2012 said that is an individual's subjective experience of their work that is purposeful and has a significant impact. And the last, Heckman and Oldham, 1975, suggests job satisfaction a psychological state that reflects the extent to which an individual feels satisfied and happy with his work. Dimension of research variable turnover intention, according from Mobley et al., 1970 include there are three dimensions. First is thought of quitting. Second is intention to search for alternative and intention to quit about turnover intention dimension. And the dimension second, we know that perceived organizational support or POS from a survey 1986 and 20 and 2 are first is fairness, supervisor support, and organizational reward and working condition. And the third dimension of meaningful work according from Stager 2012 are positive meaning in work, meaning making to work and greater good motivation. And the last, the dimension of job satisfaction from Heckman and Oldham, 1975, suggests are job security, pay, social, supervisory, and growth. And next, in the third bab or theoretical framework, but depend on the literature review too, and we know that constellation, there are 7 hypotheses perceived organizational support on job satisfaction and meaningful work on job satisfaction and also perceived organizational support on turnover intention. And the fourth hypothesis, meaningful work on turnover intention. And the 5 hypothesis of job satisfaction on turnover intention. And the last is perceived organizational support on turnover intention toward job satisfaction and meaningful work on turnover intention through job satisfaction as an intervening variable. But the relationship between variable and hypothesis development, there are has a positive and significant effect and also negative and significant effect. That the positive, there are POS and job satisfaction, meaningful work and job satisfaction, and also POS and turnover intention through job satisfaction as intervening variable has a positive and significant effect too, and meaningful and turnover intention through job satisfaction has a positive and significant effect too, and that negative and significant, there are pause on turnover intention, meaningful work and turnover intention, and job satisfaction and turnover intention. If we know that the information, if high turnover intention, that the decrease of also POS meaningful and job satisfaction, but that the result that significant and also negative effect too. Next, research methodology in the third bab. Research methodology. Research design, the type of the research used is the quantitative research. This research is associative causal, namely research that aims to determine the relationship between two or more variables. According to Sugiono, 2027, this research was conducted at the Jabodetabek FNB and Business, and the population was studied was 223 employee of berkarya sejahtera Indonesia Andal and Sagala Enda Pria Sepia. A sample size of 100 to 200 is often considered the minimum size to produce stable and unbiased estimate, according to Kelchi 2018. The Generation Z employs spread across the Jabodetabek area. And data analysis technique, the primary data used were collected using a survey method, using a Google form, using a Likert scale from 5 until 2 and 1 scale from strongly disagree and also strongly agree. And next, the data analysis technique used in this study is quantitative descriptive analyzing using the structural equation modeling or SAM technique process with AMOS software. And SAM-AMOS analysis, which includes construct, validity, and reliability tests with GFA, SAM model test, fit analysis, goodness of fit, and significant tests of the influence between variable. And research process, I try to starting from proposal, the process begins with the guidance of the topic, discussion, and proposal writing. And the second research, the research process involves distribution questionnaire. And next, analysis, the collecting data analysis and validity, reliability, and hypothesis tests were carried out. And the last is writing thesis and scientific article to be published. And I think that's enough. And thank you for your attention. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.